Hi, do you hear what my thoughts for today? And my thoughts for today will take us to Iran, to Russia, and to Trump's credibility, which I see increasingly under threat because, well, give him a credit. I mean, he did assassinate Soleimani, and he did send, well, I don't know, a couple of thousand troops to deal with, to eradicate ISIS in Syria. Give him credit for that. But those are small things. And on the big things regarding Iran and Russia, I hear a lot of talk. I don't see a lot of action.
President, can you provide us an update on Russia and Ukraine as well?
Yeah, I'll give you an update. I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people, and I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time, always gotten along with him, but he's sending rockets into cities and killing people, and I don't like it at all, okay? We're in the middle of talking, and he's shooting rockets into Kiev and other cities. I don't like it at all.
So, Mr. President, what do you want to do about that?
I'm surprised. I'm very surprised. We'll see what we're going to do. What am I going to tell you?
Well,
You're the fake news, aren't you? You're totally fake. All right, any other questions? I don't like what Putin is doing, not even a little bit. He's killing people. And something happened to this guy, and I don't like it. That's all I have to say.
Can I follow up on that? A Russian commander reportedly said that Putin was almost caught in the middle of a drone attack from Ukraine. So do you have any...
I haven't heard that, but maybe that would be a reason. I don't know, but I have not heard that.
President Trump,
I hear threats about, things will be really, really bad for Putin if he doesn't fall in line and make peace with Ukraine. But I don't see, and he's talking about, this is how bad it's getting. I mean, it's not just me. Congress, the Senate, I don't know if the House did, but I know the Senate, they passed a resolution, a veto-proof resolution to put 500% tariffs on any country that buys oil from Russia. And, there may be other sanctions right on Russia, but that's the big one, 500% tariff on any country that that buys oil from Russia. And, number one, it's veto proof, and that shows you how not just me, and a lot of Americans, but Congress, they're getting very fed up with Trump because he's all talk and he's no action, and he wants to negotiate. I don't want to say it's cowardice. I want to say that he, number one, believes in his ability, that he's the god of deal making, and that he can make a deal with anybody, and he doesn't want to fail to make a deal. That's number one. Number two, he wants to keep his reputation as being the only president that has not gotten the United States into a war. And we're not talking about getting us into a war regarding either Iran or Russia, because we're talking about, in case of Iran, it's giving Israel everything Israel needs to do the job. Israel can handle everything. We don't have to risk a single American soldier. And the same thing in Ukraine, dealing with Russia. They just need weapons. I mean, we've been trickling in these weapons over a period of years, and I don't blame Trump because it was Biden administration Biden was in power when the Russians went in, and they're just trickling in these weapons and not just giving them everything they need. I mean, if they gave Ukraine if Trump, he always boasts, Obama only gave blankets to Ukraine, I gave javelins. Well, how about F-35s? How about every weapon that you've given to Israel? Provide the same to the Ukrainians early in the war at once, and in my opinion, the war would have been over. But they trickle in, and we are where we are today. And Trump has been at least a couple of occasions where he said, Putin is going, said he will sit down with Zelensky, and it's a complete. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want a war. During his presidency, because he wants to be the president who stops wars. I think that is part of it. But also, he says, you just heard that, you just saw the tape there, that, I know Putin is acting crazy. And so he's not acting crazy. That's the point that he refuses to get. I mean, this is something I would require if I could. I put it in the Constitution for every president, is to read some history and to get and speak to experts who know areas and understand the other people. He's making a mistake that actually George Bush made, also George W. Bush in Iraq, but assuming that other cultures are the same as us. We think like, everybody thinks like we do. So he says about Iran, well, I want the Iranians to be prosperous, and I'm sure the mullahs want the best for their people. And, well, we'll get to Iran, but that is completely wrong. But let's stick right now with Russia. Suppose as an example, a little thought experiment, an Einsteinian thought experiment. Suppose tomorrow Mexico invaded California and said, well, we want California back. California was, which it was. There's not a proud part of our history. We took Mexico, we took California by force, and we also know about Texas, right? Texas Revolution, but we'll stick with California. California was we took it by force. Now we paid for it. What happened was we offered to buy California from Mexico. Mexico refused, so we started the Mexican-American War. We won, and we just took California. We paid for it, though. So it was a forced sale. It wasn't just a conquest and seizure. Mexico was paid for, but they did not want to sell it. So you would think that they would have a very good case to, invade part of California and take it back, if not all of it. So suppose that happened. Suppose Mexico invaded and seized part of California. What would Trump do? What would any president do? Would they stand for that? Would they do what Trump is demanding of Zelensky, sit down with the president of Mexico and work out a deal where Mexico gets part of California? I don't think so. We wouldn't stand for it, but that's what he's imposing on Ukraine. And from Russia's point of view, Putin's point of view, this is what Trump doesn't understand. Ukraine is to Russia what California is to us. Putin believes, and most Russians do, you have to understand, he's not like the mullahs of Iran that are deeply unpopular, who the people hate. Putin's approval rating is through the roof, at least for now, even though the economic hardships that they're suffering right now. But they agree with Putin that Ukraine is rightfully part of Russia, that Ukraine was taken from them. And Ukraine, what happened was that Ukraine was like Belarus, where you have in Belarus Lukashenko. He's the president of Belarus, but he's a puppet. He's a Russian puppet, and that's what they had in I forgot the guy's name, but before Zelensky, there was a puppet president. I forgot. I just can't remember his name. Maybe it'll come to me. But anyway, he was a puppet too, and what happened was what they called the Orange Revolution or something that ousted that puppet president. They had an election, and Zelensky won. But Putin does not recognize Zelensky as the legitimate president leader of Ukraine. That is one of the problems. The other one is that Putin does. You have to remember that the Soviet Union former Soviet Union did not voluntarily dissolve. Reagan brought the Soviet Union down, bankrupted them, and I don't want to go through all the details, but the point is that Putin, he called the dissolution of the USSR, the Soviet Union, as a major catastrophe. I forget his exact words, but that's basically it, a great catastrophe, major catastrophe. He does not believe that was legal. He thought that the dissolution of the Soviet Union was illegal, and that he has a right to Russia has a right to reconstitute the Soviet Union, which is his big dream. Start with Ukraine, and then go to Lithuania and Moldavia, all these other countries, and bring them back into the Soviet Union. Who knows? Maybe Poland too. There are reports that Putin is preparing for war on NATO, but the point is that Putin, in his mind, is doing what we would do if Mexico seized part of California. Would we negotiate? No. And Putin, he's not going to negotiate. Now, one of the things that he has, he will only negotiate if he's forced to. Trump does not get this. That's why Congress, at least the Senate, is finally acting on, and the House may be involved too, I don't remember, but I know it was the Senate passed something, veto-proof, bipartisan, that to force Trump to act if he won't do it. They'll send they would pass a bill and they would send it to the president, 500% tariff on anybody who does business, who buys oil from Russia, and see if he vetoes it. But that's one of the problems, that he does not understand that you cannot negotiate with Putin. It is a waste of time. We should just give Ukraine everything we can give them and back them to the hill. And one thing you should do, this is on the Europeans actually, because I don't believe we have any Russian financial assets in the United States, but Europe, the European Union, there are $300 billion of Russian assets in Europe, and I don't know why they're afraid of something, but they should seize all those assets and use the $300 billion to finance weapons for Ukraine. That would be, number one, it would take the burden off of us or the Europeans contributing any money, and number two, boy, it would really burn Putin. So I don't know why we don't do that. But again, Trump, he refuses to understand that there are some people with whom you cannot make a deal. I don't care how good, if you could be the supreme god of making deals. Putin wants Ukraine. That's it. He is supposed to. One of the things he promised to do is to put in writing his demands or his negotiating position for these supposed, these fantasy negotiations, and they haven't come yet. They haven't come yet. And why haven't they come? Because, it'll be interesting what will happen, because one of the requirements will be that they want more land than the land they already have, number one. Number two, the big one, that the Zelensky government, the government of Ukraine, has to step down and put in a new government, which would be a puppet of Russia. Once that's in writing, then it really forces Trump's hand, and I really wonder what he's going to do, because he negotiates. And now that takes us to Iran. The same thing, negotiate. They meet once a week, and the bottom line for the Israelis is, now the Iran, they just made a new offer that they would allow inspections, but they said that before, and the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, they discovered that they couldn't just go anywhere they want and inspect everything they want, but that's another delaying. In other words, they have said that they will not stop the enrichment of uranium. They will not destroy their destroy their centrifuges, and they will not destroy their ballistic missiles. All of those are the minimum for Israel. That's why you may be seeing. There were reports of tension between Israel and a phone conversation between Netanyahu and Trump, that Netanyahu wanted to stop delaying and attack Iran, and Trump said, no, I know I can make a deal, don't do it, because we have this tension here. If I was on Israel's side, I would say, actually, Tulsi Gabbard flew to Israel and said, just give us 1 week. So I would give him the 1 week, but now Netanyahu denies that there was any tension in the phone call that they had, and so we'll see how it shakes out. But the problem again is that Trump does not understand Iran. These mullahs, they are religious fanatics. They don't care about their people. You're seeing in Hamas, same thing, the radical Muslims who don't care about their people. The Hamas are using their people as human shields, and the Iranians, they have the same mindset. They don't care about their people. They would they would be taking different policies. They would stop their nuclear program and trade with the rest of the world and allow the people to prosper. But they don't want that. They want to destroy, number one, destroy Israel. They want to destroy the United States, and they want to impose Islam on the entire world. And not just Islam, so as you have to understand, Islam, they also want, has to be Shia Islam. So they want to, Shias are a minority, they want to impose Shia Islam on the Sunni Muslims too, ultimately. So you see, again, it's a waste of time. Trump is wasting time negotiating with the mullahs, and that is, or negotiating with Khamenei, and that's, or as it's properly pronounced, Khamenei. Anyways, the point is that however he pronounces his last name, it's a waste of time to negotiate with him, and Trump has to just put down a marker and say, not one of these. Remember, Obama made it. It's my red line. No chemical weapons in Syria, and they did it. And Trump and Obama did nothing. And I fear that's what's happening with Trump. That it's obvious that we have to, or let the Israelis, even better, just attack Iran, give them everything they need, and they have to let them do that, or just ignore them. The way it is right now, Iran will just come up, like as I just said, they said, well, now they will allow inspections. Trump, whenever he's ready, it looks like he might do something, then they'll offer some other little, carrot, another little carrot to avoid the stick. And Trump will apparently just keep talking to them. Okay, well, they offered to do this. I said I'm so tough, and I said, do this, or well, that just the word negotiate is a problem. Why say negotiate? Just tell this is it. This is what the Israelis are saying, and Trump is tying their hands. I don't understand. Is what the Israelis are saying. What Trump should be saying: no negotiation. Not 1 gram of enriched uranium anywhere in Iran, and not one functioning centrifuge anywhere in Iran, not one ballistic missile anywhere in Iran. You have to ship all of your refined uranium, enriched uranium out of the country. You have to destroy, or allow us to destroy under our supervision, or allow us to destroy all of your centrifuges and all of your ballistic missiles, and that's it. Do it or don't do it, and you have 1 week to agree, or something like that. That's the way to do it. And whether Trump will do it, I don't know. I have my doubts. Because he lets this go on and on. Now, Tulsi Gabbard said 1 week, so we'll see what happens in 1 week. And that's about it. That's it for today. Thanks for stopping by. Those are my thoughts. Love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below the video. Share this video with anyone you think would benefit from it. If you could subscribe, that would really, really be great. But most of all, come back and see me again. I'd love to see all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.